This podcast is rated E for everyone. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Nifty Ninty. I, as always, am your host, Matt Tuna Turner. And for those of you keeping score, this is episode 23. Took a week off there. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I did. I took a week off there. There were rumors. There were rumors in the rumor mill swirling that we would get a brand new Nintendo Direct. So I wanted to wait. I wanted to wait and see if that happened. And guess what? Rumors were true. At the end of last week, we received a brand new Nintendo Direct. And it was a doozy. It was a good one. We've been waiting a long time for some info. There's been all sorts of rumors and leaks and wondering what's happening with Yoshi and a whole bunch of other stuff. But you know what? We'll get to that a little bit later in the show. In fact, that's going to make up the bulk, the meat and potatoes of this week's episode. So before we get to that, why don't we head right into these past 2 weeks' new releases. As I really want to get into the Nintendo Direct. It was a 36-minute Direct, so this is going to be a longer episode. As I really want to get to that, I'm literally just going to rip through the list of releases over the last 2 weeks. Just rip right through it. All right, here we go. 99 Moves, Access Denied, Avenger Bird, Away, Journey to the Unexpected, BlazBlue, Centralification Special Edition, City of Brass, Defense Grid 2, Doom and Destiny, Estiman, Evoland, Legendary Edition, Food Truck Tycoon, Magic Nations, Magic Scroll Tactics, Mercury Race, Observer, Odalus, The Dark Call, Oniken, Unstoppable Edition, I'm sorry I pronounced that wrong, Percy's Predicament, Pocket Academy, Pumped BMX Pro, Reverie, Sweet As Edition, Sky Gamblers, Solstice Chronicles, MIA, Stunt Kite Party, The Path of Modus, The Stillness of the Wind, Alvastia Chronicles, Astrology and Horoscopes, Cinders, Guess the Word, Hexamaze, Iron Crypticide, Love Hero, Love, Minesweeper Genius, Modern Combat Blackout, Neko Para Volume 2, Ollie Ollie Switch Stance, Pet Care, Space Lift Danger Panic, Strikey Sisters, The King's Bird, Tokyo School Life, Tohu Sky Arena Matsuri Climax. Again, that was pronounced really wrong, and it makes up the last of the indie titles. Now, moving on to the packaged goods. We got a couple 3DS releases, so if you're still rocking your 3DS, good for you. I am too. Happy that there are still games coming. First up, Etrian Odyssey Nexus, followed by Yokai Watch 3. Then, for the Switch, Monster Energy Supercross, the official video game 2. That is a really long name. Riot, Civil Unrest, The Book of Unwritten Tales 2, DreamWorks Dragons, Dawn of New Riders, and finally, The Liar Princess and the Blind Prince. Kind of sounds like my past relationships. And on the Nintendo Entertainment System, Switch Online, or perhaps Famicom if you're in Japan and Asia or Europe, we got 2 more games this month. Super Mario 2 and Kirby's Adventure. Whew. Okay, now let's just very quickly here, because this is going to go long. Let's get on with these past 2 weeks' headlines. Thankfully, just hit the mic there. Thankfully, not a lot of news, as I'm assuming Nintendo knew that Direct was coming, so little light. All right, it hasn't taken all that long. First up, players in the brand new tactical strategy game Wargroove have already started making Advance Wars and Fire Emblem maps and campaigns within Wargroove. As we all know, Wargroove sports a pretty in-depth map, cutscene, and campaign editor. So I'm glad to see that people are just as sad as I am that we're not getting any more Advance Wars. Although lots of Fire Emblem, so whatever. But Advance Wars, man, it's only a matter of time before you can probably play the entirety of that GBA cart inside of Wargroove. Moving on. You know that voice chat software that Epic uses so that you can use, normal microphone with your headphones, so you don't have to use that cumbersome app inside Fortnite, obviously. Yeah, guess what? It's open source. It's now available for any developer to use. So, woo, thanks, Epic. That's awesome. Really appreciate that. Hopefully, other developers will pick up on that, and we won't have to use that silly app anymore because, kind of dumb. Up next, Switch Online surpasses 8 million subscribers. That's pretty awesome. 8 million subscribers. Not a huge amount, although, considering everyone's only paying $20 a year, it's still good. Still good. Can't complain. I have a feeling that maybe they're hoping that Smash would push more subscribers than it has, but it didn't. But who knows? Maybe Pokemon will be the one that really pushes that. We'll see. Although, there's still pretty much an entire year to go. We're only halfway through February, so still a long way to go. We'll see how many people pick up Switch Online in the future. After that, we get a release window for the Super Mario Brothers movie. As was announced a little while ago, early 2018, Nintendo was going to co-produce a Super Mario Brothers CG movie. Well, now we have a release window. It's a very large window, 2022. So, was that 3 years? Sometime in that year, we'll get our CG Mario movie. And I imagine this will be a lot better than the Don Haskins version that we got, in the early 90s. So far, still, Wizard is the best. After that, a Nintendo executive says that a very high number of designers at the offices in Nintendo are actually women. So hey, girl power at the big end. Love hearing that. That's amazing. Equality in the workforce. Awesome. Good for you, Nintendo. Always on the leading edge. Makes me happy to hear that. I'm going to follow up that awesome news about women taking over the workplace in Nintendo with some news from Masahiro Sakurai, the game director for Super Smash Bros. He has revealed quite a few notes concerning Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, most notably character victory rates, as well as some other sales notes and that kind of stuff. He was saying that for 101 victory rates, he was saying that no fighter is lower than 40%, and no fighter exceeds 60% in terms of winning percentages. And for elite players of Smash, there has been enough data to suggest that the lowest percentage sits at 43.7, while the character with the highest win rate is 56.8%. So what that tells me is that they have a very balanced game. It doesn't seem to matter which players you use, they happen to hover between the mid 40s to high 50 percentage in terms of win-loss rates. So pretty even Steven. He also went on to talk about some sales and the adoption of Piranha Plant and that sort of thing. But I think the main takeaway from all of what he was saying is that Smash Ultimate is a very, very balanced game. And finally, for the headlines that don't have anything to do with the Direct. Officials in Taipei have arrested a man for selling counterfeit amiibo cards online. Bad, Taiwan. Bad. They have seized 6,850 fake amiibo cards. This is in the capital, Taipei. And as we know, these are NFC-enabled cards, but they're fake. They are not real. In fact, I don't even know if you were to tap them on your console, what you would get for them. But, I guess if you just want the card, According to Apple Daily, the man was allegedly selling the NFC phony cards on Taobao for the equivalent of 52 cents a card. Taobao is a online marketplace, kind of like Craigslist, so that's how he's getting away with it. He was not doing it at a retail shop or market like that. It was all done online. I guess hoping for a lack of oversight, but I guess somebody was smart and figured it out. Apparently the art used on these cards is not the same, and like I said, I have no idea what would happen if you actually tried to tap these cards. So, glad he got caught though. Don't pirate. Stealing is wrong. Alright, now that we got all that kind of stuff out of the way, it's on to the good stuff. On to the Nintendo Direct. Fasten your seatbelts, folks. Alright, now, this Direct was a bit of a doozy. It was 36 minutes of pure Switch goodness. Not complaining about that. Nope, not at all. So, we're going to run down this Direct. But first, for those of you out there in podcast land, maybe head on over to YouTube. You will be able to see a video of the Nintendo Direct. And while you're there, hey, don't forget to subscribe. Hit that button for notifications. All right, let's get into it. Coming up first, the first thing they showed right off the bat of this Nintendo Direct was Super Mario Maker. Now, we're supposed to think, okay, maybe this is just a remake. They've been porting over a lot of Wii U titles, but no. We're getting the first thing we see is the addition of slopes. And we're like, wait, what? Oh, we're getting an update. No, it's actually Super Mario Maker 2, a whole brand new SKU coming to Switch. And whoa, does it look good. They've added some elements from all sorts of Mario titles. They've added some wind thing. They've also added the cat suit from Super Mario 3D World, which is pretty exciting. We've got some aerial type battles. It looks so good. And the best part is we don't have to wait too long for it. It's coming out June 2019, shortly after the reveal of Super Mario Maker 2. Nintendo corporate man Yoshiaki Koizumi comes on and he says, hey, didn't you enjoy that? No. Now I appreciate them trying to bring some personality into these things because as Iwata-san used to do, it used to be very fun, lighthearted, these things. But I think they're kind of missing their key personality with these things. The man who really should be hosting these things, and that man, of course, is NOA president Reggie Fils-Aimé. Anyways, after Koizumi-san talks about how awesome the Nintendo Switch and Super Mario Maker 2 is, we go right into the latest Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, which brings together, of course, all your favorite heroes. We're getting not just the Avengers, but also the Defenders, X-Men, and a whole bunch of others, all versus Thanos and the Black Order. So, even though they aren't super homogeneous on the screen, they are going to be homogeneous on the go. There's also the reveal that we are getting Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel, in her comic book short hair costume. I wonder if there will be costume mods. Maybe we'll see Homecoming Spider-Man and, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. Maybe we'll even see Into the Spider-Verse. Actually, probably not, because that's Sony, and I'm pretty sure they're not developing this. But you never know. You never know. But it does sport local and online multiplayer, of course, also single player. So you can make whatever Ultimate Alliance you wish to have. There is obviously, you can combine for like super awesome powers. I believe you could do that in Ultimate Alliance too, so glad to see they're bringing that back. Then after that, welcome back, Box Boy. Box Boy is coming back to Nintendo platforms, this time Nintendo Switch. All that awesome blocky puzzle goodness. You know what? It's been kind of sick thing to think about, but how do these boxes just kind of come out of him? I don't know. Oh, I see. There's a box girl. No, maybe that's how he creates these boxes. Did they just kind of reproduce like that? And I don't know. This one also has Cutie, the tall one, as a additional character to use to solve puzzles. I guess Cutie kind of makes it easier as opposed to just a box, but you do have co-op, so this game is going to have a lot of puzzles. In fact, 270 to be exact, so there's going to be a lot of boxy goodness, and this comes out April 26th. It's called Box Boy and Box Girl. After that, a little bit of a disappointing showing for Smash Bros. They just said, hey, here's the version 3.0 update. By the way, it's coming. I'm not going to tell you anything. Oh, also, here's, Joker's character, but it's just his back. He'll be here somewhere before April. Yeah? Okay, cool. And they left. And that was really it for Smash. Kind of sad. Would have been nice to see some in-game stuff of Joker, even if, oh yeah, by the way, you can buy some amiibo. So, kind of disappointing on the Smash front, but, I guess it's still new. They don't have to do much yet. After that, the Captain Toad Treasure Tracker game is getting an update, and it's kind of free. So you can download the first part of the update now, and it'll kind of upgrade your current game to support 2-player co-op. And then you kind of get access to paid downloadable content later. I'm not entirely sure. I mean, the paid downloadable content's coming anyways, and it includes new challenges and some new courses inspired from various Mario franchises. I think if you pre-order, I think the way it works is if you pre-order the paid update, you get the free one today. If not, you have to wait. That's kind of how that works. Something along those lines. But anyways, you can buy it now. So, hooray! Alright. And the remainder of the content will be out March 14th. Of course, there is a bundle for both of them if you don't already own the game. So head on over to the eShop if you haven't. If you've been looking for an excuse to pick up Captain Toad or revisit it since the Wii U days, now's a good time. Of course, the spiritual successor to Castlevania, which is a sequel to the first Bloodstained Curse of the Moon, is coming to Switch. We got to see some footage of that. This wasn't anything new. This was expected to be in this direct. Actually, Mario Maker was expected to be in this direct too, but it was expected to be a port, not a full new SKU. So anyways, back to Bloodstained. Showed off a bunch of gameplay, which looked pretty cool. You play a female protagonist in this one, and you've got a whole bunch of character customization. It's no longer the old school pixel art. It's fully rendered. All of the cutscenes are kind of stills, but there is at least voiceover, so you don't have to read all the text yourself. But it does look pretty cool, and as we know, it's some of the developers from the original Castlevania getting back together and making a spiritual successor. So Konami, obviously people want this. Why don't you get on it? Or hire them back. Kind of silly, really. Alright, after this, after Bloodstained, they showed off a game that's been available in Japan for actually quite a long time. When I was in Japan over New Year's, this game was available then. It's now almost 2 months later, and it's finally coming to the West, and that game is Dragon Quest Builders 2, which is like Minecraft if it were an actual RPG. So, if you enjoyed the first Dragon Quest Builders, I never actually played it, then I would definitely pick this up. This one looks super in-depth, and there's even a little bonus in this one if you played the first one. You get an extra costume in this one if you played the first Dragon Quest Builders. But I'm not really into these kind of building games. I know a lot of people are, and that's cool, but it's just it never floated my boat. So, no. But after that, Koizumi-san came back on. It's like, hey, how have you been enjoying this so much? Oh, wait. What's that sound? We've got another announcement. Which is pretty awesome. He showed off. Oh, speaking of Dragon Quest, how about some more? So, more Dragon Quest coming to the Nintendo Switch. This is actually a remake. This is probably the longest title in video game history ever. Dragon Quest 11S Deus Ex Echoes of an older age 2C to the power of infinite. So, if you really wanted the definitive edition of Dragon Quest 11, it's coming to the Switch. It actually looks really cool. Haven't really played a lot of Dragon Quest games, to be honest, but this one looks like it might pull me back in. You've got the ability to switch between 16-bit RPG style or like modern open world, fully rendered character model style, and you can do that right on the fly. Not only that, but you can actually play the game with Japanese audio as opposed to English audio. So, pretty exciting. They actually dedicated a lot of this Nintendo Direct to this game and the one before, Dragon Quest Builders 2. It makes me wonder if maybe we're getting some Dragon Quest in Smash, and they're trying to hype that by cross-promoting this. Maybe after Joker, we're going to see a Dragon Quest character come into Smash. I think it's entirely possible. Certainly not out of the realm of possibility, but you never know, because they, when they announced this Direct, it did say that it was going to focus heavily on Fire Emblem Three Houses, and I think they spent almost as much time on Dragon Quest, which, it just leads me to believe that it's very possible that perhaps there will be some cross-pollination with Smash, and I think that'd be awesome, although there's a lot of sword fighters in Smash already, mostly Fire Emblem, but maybe we'll choose one of the supporting characters as opposed to one of the main characters, which would be pretty cool. Personally, I'm still waiting to see Sailor Moon in Smash, but that's just wishful thinking. So this trailer was long. They showed off a lot of stuff, and it looks like a really, really fun game. Something I might actually enjoy playing, and it is definitely the quote-unquote definitive edition of Dragon Quest 11. It is a very long title. Dragon Quest 11 S Day of a something or other. Anyways, it's available this fall. After Dragon Quest 11 S Dawn of another Summer Day Definitive Super Ultra Edition, Koizumi-san came back out, and he spoke some more, corporateese, blah blah, wow, so much Dragon Quest coming, isn't this exciting? And he ran down some more highlights. Up next, we saw, Tsum Tsum Disney. These are based on Disney Tsum Tsum toys, which are very popular in Japan. It's basically a minigame compilation. The only one that really intrigued me was curling, showing my Canadian roots there. But there's a bunch of minigames. There's like a Pac-Man clone, and like I said, curling, and some sort of pinball type of, not pinball, but like matchy type of puzzle game. We have to match all the same Tsum Tsums. It's got versus play. I think this is more for families and kids than it is really any sort of hardcore gamer, but Disney Tsum Tsum Festival is available sometime this year. It looks cute and fun, sure enough. And then after that, Starlink is getting an update. So for those of you who have been dying for some sort of new Star Fox content, you're getting it, but it's not coming from a new Star Fox game. It is coming from Starlink. They are adding the Star Wolf team. So if you wanted to, live out all your Star Fox fantasies, now you can. I've not played Starlink, although I would really like to have that R-Wing toy. I'm pretty sure that's probably the only reason I buy this game. Although it has been getting some updates, and this might be enough to drag some people into it. We got some like Star Fox R-Wing racing, which actually looks pretty fun. So this update is available April 2019. After Starlink, a game that is close to many people's hearts, another remake, sadly, coming to the Nintendo Switch. There's a lot of remakes and ports coming, but I suppose it makes sense when you think about the fact that this is a very popular console, one that a lot of people are getting back to Nintendo to after a while. So it's nice that some games that people may have missed, myself included, even though I've owned every Nintendo console. Some games that are coming to the Switch now, or maybe they're on a different platform, finally coming to the Switch. So anyways, I digress. This game is called Rune Factory 4. It is a special edition or remake, whatever you want to call it, of the first Rune Factory 4. So that is coming to the Switch. Rune Factory 4 Special. It's available later this year. They did not give a firm update, but following quick on the heels of that, they did tease Rune Factory 5. So, Rune Factory 5 is coming to the Switch. Again, they didn't really have an announce date for that. So, but it's coming. It's kind of like the Bayonetta 3 or Metroid Prime announcements. Like, hey, by the way, this is coming. Anyways, after that, they showed a new JRPG called Onenaki from... actually, I don't remember. It's from the creators of... Oh, God, I can't remember. Anyways, my bad. But it's a brand new JRPG where you kind of go between the living world and the dead. So you're kind of like in the space. It's almost like limbo. But not like the video game limbo. I mean, like the place limbo between living and dead. So you're able to go between our world and the spirit world. And if you die, you have to go back and collect your corpse. Something along those lines. So there's a whole mechanic built around going between living and dead. It actually looks pretty cool. I think with all the JRPGs coming out this year, sadly this one might get lost in the shuffle. But it is available in summer. Summer is typically a slower time of year. So it's possible that that game might. It's possible that game might see some strong sales. Sorry about that. Anyways, following that, we got a much better look at Yoshi's Crafted World. This is a game I'm pretty excited about. It looks like a lot of fun. They've done some pretty unique stuff with this game. Not only is the art style pretty unique, but the ability to switch the world around and hunt for treasures and stuff, pretty cool. They've also added, this is new to this direct, now Yoshi can wear costumes, as well as your second player friend. You can wear costumes, which add like armor bonuses and hit bonuses and stuff like that. They also announced that a demo is available now, so if you haven't gotten to the eShop in a while, go check it out. It's free, you can play through the first course, and the game itself will be available March 29th. So after Yoshi came out, Koizumi-san came back on, I still think this should be Reggie. He's such a personality. How could they not have Reggie? Anyways, Koizumi-san snapped his fingers, and we got a look at an anime trailer. And we're like, oh, what's this? This looks cool. Who is this woman? I like anime. What game is this? Oh, look, finally, it's Fire Emblem, the Three Houses. Just what I always wanted. So this made up the bulk of the Nintendo Direct, Fire Emblem Three Houses. We didn't really have a lot of information on this game. We didn't really know what it was about, anything like that. We just figured, oh, there's three houses, they're probably going to be fighting each other. But as we find out through the course of this little vignette for Fire Emblem Three Houses, it's more like Harry Potter, but like the early years of Harry Potter. So it's like the three houses actually are like kind of at peace on this land, and then some marauders come in, but everyone's like school age, so you have to go to school, and then you train in school. I don't really know how I feel about this game, to be honest. It kind of, and the visuals look amazing. I love the anime art style, but if I'm gonna spend the entire time reading books and bullying the other houses, and then like occasionally going and getting some like bandits, I don't know how I feel about this. I kind of feel like it's gonna be boring, which is a shame. Oh, I should note that the school that everybody goes to is like right dead smack in the center. I'm guessing it's kind of like the Vatican. It's like a no-go zone. It's neutral city-state. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. But they all go to Hogwarts in the middle of the land, and I don't know, learn archery and stuff. And yeah, so there's three teams because there's three houses. One's gold, one's black, and the other's blue. And they have like animals. So one's a lion and an eagle, and I don't know, a Hufflepuff or something. But yeah, so that's cool. I guess this kind of thing is more popular in Japan. The whole like teacher student school interpersonal relationship thing. I don't know. I hated school. I couldn't wait to leave school. I don't really want to play a video game that puts me back there. So yeah, you know, we got a lot of video of school, and there's actually a clip where someone is literally reading a book. I'm hoping that this is just training, and that at some point in time in your training, there's other, you know, an outside force that threatens this continent, and everyone has to team up, and or like something devolves and the piece is broken. I don't know. Otherwise, it's like, you know, Pogo meets Hogwarts, and that just does not sound exciting to me because there's no monster collecting, and well, like I said, school kind of sucks. Not a fan, like at all. But you know, I could be wrong. Like I said, this could just be the first portion of the game, like training, because it looks like a slightly updated battle system. Like you're not controlling just one person. It looks like you have a squad, and you're like a squad leader. So and maybe you can train certain skills like cavalry or archery that gives you a bonus out on the battlefield. I don't really know. None of those questions are answered here. Instead, they just showed off a lot of school and some really awesome anime cutscenes. I mean, they do go charging in the battle, and there's this weird person with green hair, so maybe she's the foreign entity that they all need to team up against, and I really hope so. I really hope so. Otherwise, this game is going to be boring. Also, Fire Emblem was pushed. I guess they needed a little extra time to add in all that book reading. So it comes out July 26th of 2019. originally supposed to come out in the spring. Actually, Koizuma comes on after this and says exactly that they needed a little extra time. They didn't say why. I just assume it's for all that book learning. And yeah, so just a little extra time. Don't have to wait too long. Early summer. I think they only pushed it maybe 2 months. Anyways, so that was the bulk of the direct. On to other games. We get a Battle Royale style Tetris game. Now, how does that work? Well, that's a good question. It basically pits 99 players against each other. It's actually available now. This is one of those games that they announced on the direct and like, hey, by the way, it's available now. And not only is it available now, it's free. So if you haven't gone to download it, I suggest doing so. I have, and it's frantic. The best I've done so far is I've come 53 out of 99. So, oh no, sorry, 23 out of 59. 23, big difference. 23, which is pretty good considering, you know, I'm not the best Tetris player, but it is available now, and it's free, and there will be upcoming online events to get involved in. Of course, it is free if you are a Nintendo Switch Online member, so remember that. After that, we get a game called Dead by Daylight. This was a game, I think it's a port, not 100% on that, so let me know in the comments below if that is the case. But this game, I mean, it looks cool, but just visually kind of muddy. It looks kind of difficult to see stuff. I mean, it's called Dead by Daylight, but it all takes place at night, which is kind of a odd thing to do. So there's that. But it's a zombie game, survival horror type game. I mean, it looks fun, and it's available this fall, 2019. After that, we got this is for all you people who loved Undertale. Apparently, if you've completed Undertale, this one's for you. You would get this. It is a new experience from the people from Undertale, and it stars a dog. It is called Deltarune, Chapter 1. It is apparently beta right now. I don't know. They're really clever with this trailer. Actually, this one made me laugh. Basically, they didn't want to spoil anything for you, so they just covered all the stuff that might be spoiled with dogs, like lots and lots of these pixelated dogs. There aren't actually that many dogs in the game, apparently, but it does look pretty fun. But Chapter 1 is available for free at the end of February. Of course, other chapters you'll have to pay for after the fact. So at this point in time in the direct, they're just kind of running through titles. Not a whole lot to a lot of footage to show. I guess some of these games are still early, or maybe they just want to hold off until later. But after Deltarune, we got a little bit more footage of Daemon X Machina, a game that I know I'm excited for. It looks like a lot of fun. A lot of fun. They did show off, like I said, more gameplay, not a whole lot of story per se. Some stuff we'd seen in the E3 trailer and stuff like that, but one of the devs did come on and he's saying that this is beta, it is still coming this year, we need some more time to fix it. Oh, and by the way, a demo is available now, and why don't you tweet us, or there's a forum you can go to, I believe an email address actually, you can go to and you can provide your feedback. So if you ever wanted to help test the game and provide meaningful, I'm going to say meaningful because I don't want people flooding their Twitter with just nasty things, meaningful feedback, you can do that. So you have between now and, it just says summer, but you know, it could be pushed. The game I think has already been pushed once. So anyways, hop on the eShop and download the prototype mission. Also, finally, coming to the Switch, we're getting some realistic sim racing. I know there are a lot of fans of Forza and Gran Turismo out there, and they're probably sitting with their Switch going, geez, why did I buy this? There's nothing for me to play except Mario Kart. But hey, finally, for you guys, there is a sim racing game coming. And this game is called Grid. The car looks pretty awesome. You've got a huge amount of control options, from gyroscopes to actual buttons to anything you want. A whole bunch of courses and cars, of course. Anything a car lover could ever want is coming very soon, summer 2019. Another game that I didn't think was going to come to the Switch, although this was rumored, but I really didn't think this was going to make it. Hellblade: Sensua's Sacrifice is coming to the Nintendo Switch from Ninja Theory. This is a port of I believe, an Xbox game, actually. So I think this port was already in the works before Microsoft bought Ninja Theory, sorry. Anyways, comes spring 2019. It looks pretty good on the Switch. Looks pretty good. Can't really complain. I don't think it'll ever look as good as the Xbox One, but not bad. And then after that, they showed off, of course, the goriest fighting game ever, and that is Mortal Kombat. They showed, actually, this is a really fast bunch of stuff. There's a whole bunch of ports coming to the Nintendo Switch. They showed off Mortal Kombat 11, which is coming day and date to the Nintendo Switch, unless you live in Australia. And then they showed off Unravel 2 from EA, the sequel to Unravel, so Yarny and his friend. They also showed off Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered, which hopefully is still early in development because it looks like it's running at about 4 frames per second. Does not look good. The textures don't look all that great either. So hopefully they fix this before it comes to Nintendo Switch, because it looks a little rough. And probably the game that most people are looking forward to, at least I know I am, Final Fantasy VII. So we got a little more footage of that. It does look like a direct port. Also, Chocobo Mystery Dungeon Everybody, B-U-D-D-Y, not B-O-D-Y. Final Fantasy IX, oh, by the way, available right now. So those, they just kind of ran through quick. Mortal Kombat, Unravel, Assassin's Creed, Final Fantasy VII, Chocobo Mystery, and Final Fantasy IX. Final Fantasy IX is available right now. And then Koizumi-san came back on and snapped his fingers, and we got some footage of some sci-fi stuff. We're like, oh, what is this? Oh, okay, so this is a monster, and there's some police officers and sci-fi type helicopters. This looks like pretty cool. Oh, and magic powers and body armor and stuff. Not entirely sure what this is. It must be a new IP. This is something I'd never seen before. It's from the makers of Platinum, so I guess when they aren't busy with Bayonetta, they're busy doing this, which is pretty cool. It looks kind of like Monster Hunter, but a sci-fi futuristic version of Monster Hunter. The world looks massive, so hopefully there's lots to explore. But you're basically like lassoing animals, beasts, and I wonder if you're actually collecting them or just defeating them, a la Pokemon or Monster Hunter. But it does look really, really, really fun. Action-packed, of course. It's a third-person action title. It looks like it's multiplayer, so at least 2-player, maybe not 4. But the battles and the monsters are huge. You can summon a mount out of nowhere, and then, like I said, like lassoed. It's almost like Ghostbusters, when you have to get all the proton packs pointed at the monster, and like I don't know if you suck it into one of those traps or what. If it's just you defeat them, and I don't know if you get anything from it, but it looks like a lot of fun, and it's called Astral Chain. Available August 30th, 2019 from Platinum Games. So that's what they've been doing outside of Bayonetta 3. Koizumi-san then came on and was like, oh yeah, by the way, Platinum, they they are busy with Astral Chain, but you know, don't forget about Bayonetta. It's still coming. It's still coming. Don't worry. Don't worry. It's still coming. They don't really tell us anything else beyond that. So you know, that's okay, I guess. But you know, I guess maybe E3 will find out more about Bayonetta. Astral Chain does look fun though. It'll be a nice holdover until Bayonetta comes out. Maybe Bayonetta comes out at the end of this year, or maybe beginning of next. Maybe it'll fit into that post-holiday void. And Koizumi-san snaps his fingers, says, "We've got one more thing to show you." And this is something that was a huge shock. We see some bubbles and raging oceans. It's wet. We see lightning and thunder. We see what looks like, you know, could be Link. And we're like, what is this? I mean, for those of you who've played this game, you know exactly what this is. And then lightning strikes and the screen goes white. And we wake up and we see that giant egg atop the mountain. And at that point in time, everybody just, their mouth hits the floor. Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. Yes, the Game Boy title Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening is coming to Nintendo Switch. And I know a lot of people collectively lost their, I'm not going to say it, but you know what I mean. Personally, I did not expect this. There was rumor that a Zelda was coming this year. I was thinking maybe we'd get a Skyward Sword port or maybe Majora's Mask, but Link's Awakening, damn. And not only is it coming this year, I mean, they didn't say when it's coming this year, but it's got just the most unique art style I've seen in a while. It's like, it's not quite like Phantom Hourglass, Wind Waker. It's something completely different. It's almost like those old claymation cartoons, like Rudolph, or you know, Nightmare Before Christmas. Those types of movies. But it's so cool. It's not purely top down. It's almost isometric in its view, but it looks almost like a shot-for-shot remake of the game, just with really neat graphics, and like the edges of the screen they kind of blur, so it gives you this depth of field, kind of like Octopath did, if that makes sense. How it kind of gave you that 2.5D look, although this is like 3D characters. They aren't flat like they were in Octopath, but it looks very cool and a huge surprise. That will probably be a fall release. Obviously, we'll probably find out more at E3. Probably see more as well. Maybe learn some more. Find out what if any upgrades they made. And that pretty much ends the Nintendo Direct. And wow, what a way to end it and start it, really. Super Mario Maker 2, Link's Awakening remake. Oh, that almost makes me want to go back and play Link's Awakening. I have it on my 3DS. I'm still getting through Breath of the Wild, so maybe when I'm done that, I'll go replay Link's Awakening. But damn, that was good. That was a good Direct. There were some disappointing things, like it's kind of sad we didn't see more Bayonetta, but it is cool to see Astral Chain. And of course, the Metroid Prime 4, sorry, fiasco, kind of sad. It would have been really nice to see anything for Metroid Prime 4, but understandably they're starting over, and we knew that before going into the Direct. But what did you guys think? If you had to score the Nintendo Direct, what would you give it? Just out of curiosity, hit me up on Twitter. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of the Nintendo Direct. Personally, I would have given it about an 8. Overall, really good. I was quite pleased with Mario Maker 2. I didn't play the first one. I think I might this way because you can't take it on the go, so you aren't just strapped to your Wii U gamepad. You can actually take the console with you. Final Fantasy VII, I'm looking forward to. It's coming out in March, by the way. So is Final Fantasy, I think 10 and 10-2 also in March, within a week of each other, I believe. So late March. So those are exciting. I never played Final Fantasy VII. Once Square jumped ship to Sony, I kind of wrote them off because I'm a loyalist to Nintendo. So the last Final Fantasy I really played through from beginning to end, and multiple times actually, was Final Fantasy VI. I have kind of dabbled here and there once my hatred for Sony faded a little, but I missed this one. I missed 7, so I'm looking forward to playing through that. A lot of people say it's one of the best ones, even though I still think 6 is. So we'll see. Also, Final Fantasy IX is available now if you really need to scratch that JRPG itch. But yeah, I think Link's Awakening. I mean, how can you not? I played through that on the original Game Boy. I bought the DX Color version. Never beat it that time because I'd already beaten it once. But I think I will play through it again on my 3DS once I'm done with Breath of the Wild. There's a lot of Korok seeds in that game, and I gotta get through them. So, but like I said, I'd give the Nintendo Direct an 8 out of 10. Would have liked to see a little less Dragon Quest, and Fire Emblem was kind of disappointing in my eyes. I guess you could call that, instead of Three Houses, Fire Emblem Go Hogwarts Edition or something. I don't know. Just doesn't, the whole school thing just doesn't appeal to me. Personally, I thought Harry Potter got better the older that the characters got and the less school they actually did. And as much as I like fighting factions in Pogo, in this, it just, the weight behind the fight doesn't seem significant enough to get me invested in these characters. It kind of just seems like schoolyard battles, although I could be very wrong. So I'm looking forward to more info on that. We got no info on Animal Crossing, which is kind of sad, or Pokemon, which is also kind of sad. But E3 is coming up fast. It'll be here before you know it. So it's possible that they are waiting until then. I mean, we know Pokemon will be coming in November. It always does. So it's possible that they're just waiting until E3 to announce more information on Pokemon and Animal Crossing. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if Animal Crossing was their big game at E3. But like I said, we'll wait and see. Still, I would give the Direct a 8 out of 10. So let me know what you thought about the Nintendo Direct. Hit me up in the comments below. So that does it for this episode of Nifty Ninty. Sorry, it's really long. We're pushing on an hour right now. But I hope you enjoyed it. If you do, please do hit that subscribe button and hit the bell for notifications. If you're listening on iTunes, thank you. I appreciate your subscription. And also tell your friends. Trying to produce as many episodes of this as possible, as often as I can, so I do appreciate your patience. You can hit me up on Patreon, patreon.com/TuneEntertainment. I'm also available on Twitter at TuneEnt_official and at www.tunaentertainment.com. And as always, stay safe and stay nifty. Hello? Is this thing on?